What's up, Mr. Geeks? My name is OMGWTF, and welcome to Suprocker Saturday. Now, I know this is a little bit late, and it's going to be uploaded on a Sunday, but I was really busy today with work and stuff like that, it happened. But it's still going to be uploaded, along with our cartoon artwork Punch Some Explosion. But if you aren't familiar with any of the Suprocker Saturdays or Sundays are, it is the 1 days of the week that I just play really any game that I want, such as the ongoing series that we've been doing for quite a long time now, the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 arcade playthroughs. And since last time we played as Captain America, we're going to be doing a Capcom character this time, and our team will be Frank West from the Dead Rising series with the shopping cart assist, Phoenix Wright, or who am I gonna choose first? Okay, Phoenix Wright from the Ace Attorney series. We're gonna have Get 'em Missile, and Chris Redfield from the Resident Evil series, and we're gonna be using his grenade toss. And the ongoing thing I like to do during these arcade playthroughs is give you information on the character I'm going to be winning as. And this time around, if you did not see the thumbnail or anything, we're going to be winning as Frank West from the Dead Rising series. So I found all the information I thought was good enough for this character. And before I start going off, I do want to say that I have done a Let's Play of Dead Rising, the game Frank West is from, and I do plan on doing the second one. If you want to check that out, feel free. Maybe I'll put it in the annotations in the first episode. I did that around a year ago, so feel free to check that one out. And let's get this going, right? So Frank West is a fictional character from the Capcom's Dead Rising video game series. He first appeared in the 2006 video game Dead Rising as the protagonist. In the series, West is a freelancer, photographer, and a photojournalist. The character has been well received by video game publications as well as by the fans, mainly in the West. Excuse me. This led Frank West to appear in several games outside of the Dead Rising series. You definitely gotta fix that sentence in Wikipedia. Kiji Inifunye, designer of the Dead Rising, wanted the main character Frank West to be different from the usual Japanese main character. Instead of having a young and beautiful protagonist, he wanted an everyman that looked average rather than beautiful or ugly. He also stated in the beginning, the staff considered making the character ugly and fat. His creation was aimed primarily to attract the Western audience introduced in the first Dead Rising game. Frank West is a player character, a famed freelancer, fucking Phoenix, right? Freelancer, photographer, and photojournalist who has covered many world events, wars, and other big-time stories. He's covered wars, you know. Lately, however, his career has begun to fizzle out. Looking for the next big scoop, he stumbles onto some strange events happening in a small town of Willamette, Colorado. There he winds up in a barricaded shopping mall and attempts to rescue a host of human survivors from the zombie hordes laying siege to the mall, while also covering the story. Frank makes a return in Dead Rising 2, Case West, and fights alongside Chuck Green after rescuing him from Fortune City as they tackle Phenotrans as one of their facilities. In the end, Frank escapes the facility with Chuck, though Isabella Keys was kidnapped by Dr. Malone, as he successfully retrieved evidence to help clear Chuck's name in the Fortune City disaster. Frank reappears in Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, which is an alternate version of Dead Rising 2's storyline, in which Frank is a protagonist. In this version of the story, Frank became an overnight celebrity for his actions in exposing the Willamette incident. Cashing in on the success, Frank released a memoir, hosted a talk show, and uses his fame and money to treat his zombie wounds from Willamette with Zombrex, among other perks. Unfortunately, between his squandered money and his series of scathing scandals, Frank's show was cancelled and his stardom quickly plummeted. In desperation, Frank goes to Fortune City to appear on Terror is Reality as a competitor and makes some quick money, but is trapped in the city when the zombie outbreak begins. Though at first Frank sees the outbreak as his big comeback, he gradually learns of a terrifying conspiracy behind it and becomes more determined to uncover the truth. West is a playable character in the Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars game. Oh, it's a fighting game, excuse me. With his special moves revolving around the use of zombies and makeshift weapons from Dead Rising. He is one of the 6 Capcom characters added to the fighting game Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, a standalone updated version of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds. He also appears as one of the characters at player's disposal in the tactical role-playing game Project X Zone, where he is paired with Senko from the Darkstalker series. West also appears as a multiplayer character in Capcom's Lost Planet Extreme Condition, and in the sequel Lost Planet 2. In Valve's add-on content, The Passing for Left 4 Dead 2, a message from Frank directed to Otis appears among the messages graffitied on the wall of the safe house. In 2009, IGN's Jesse Sheeden included Frank West in an Ultimate Zombie Strike team, and also listed him as one of characters they wish to see appear in future Marvel vs. Capcom titles, saying he should definitely come equipped with some of the more electric toys he picked up in the mall, including his Mega Man gear and lightsaber in the next year. How ironic, because he is in this game. Game Daily ranked him as the 17th best Capcom character of all time in 2008, while Screw Attack ranked West second on its 2012 list of Capcom characters, noting, "You probably wouldn't expect him to be a zombie killing machine capable of dealing with any situation, as he is a freelance photojournalist." In 2012, Games Radar ranked him as the 76th most memorable, influential, and badass protagonist in games. Alright, so now we're going to go over to people who have done Frank West's voice. So in Dead Rising, that was released in 2006, Dead Rising 2, Case West, that was released in 2010, Dead Rising 2, Off the Record in 2011, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in 2011, TJ Rotolo has done his voice. And Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars in 2010, a man named Peter Von Gom did his voice in that game. But in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 2011 and Project X Zone in 2013, Frank was voiced by Japanese voice actor Rikiya Koyama. I apologize if I did not pronounce any of those names right. So next up, wow, we're really doing through Frank West. Next up, we're going to be going over his interactions in this game. So first, we're going to start off with the pre-fight dialogues and intros, which is basically when he starts off and another person, say Chris Redfield, starts off and they have a special thing to say. Not saying him and Chris do. So when he's facing any female character, including Amaterasu, this is his camera intro. He says, "Oh nice, hold that pose." And again, when facing any female characters, including Amaterasu, again in a camera intro, he says, "Looking good, keep it up." And once again, any female characters, including Amaterasu, with the camera intro, he says, "Okay, one more shot." When he faces the Hulk in his camera intro, he says, "Last one, smile." And when he takes on Deadpool in his camera intro, he says, "Take off that mask and let me get a shot of the real you." Spider-Man in his camera intro, "I'll show that Parker kid who's the better photographer." And versus Nova in his zombie intro, which it seems like it's the only one he has interaction with the zombie, he says, "Don't just stand there and watch, help me out." So next we're going to be going over his call names, which is basically, you know, when he calls someone out to take his place. He only has one, and that's actually with one of his partners here, which is Phoenix Wright, and he says, "Mr. Wright." So next is the victory pose quotes, which is the little animated scene you see afterwards, which with Frank, we'll see it later, he runs away from zombies, and he says something against the opponent. So when he defeats the Hulk, he says, "So Hulk, I gotta go." Deadpool, he says, "So I can't get a shot without the mask? Oh well." Spider-Man, "I have a feeling I'll be seeing you around, Spidey." Sorry, my phone went off. And with Nova, he says, "Heroes, in the end, the only one I can depend on is myself." And in the aftermatch win quotes, which is basically after the little victory pose quotes we have there, they have a quotation box, so on and so forth. He has one with Strider here. It says, "Ninjas are good people in my book. The book of people's asses I've kicked." Hulk, "Your gamma radiation ruined my film. Great, there goes this month's rent money." Nova, "Kid, you need to get off this planet pronto. God help us all if you ever got bit by a zombie." Felicia, "I've got a fever, and the only prescription is more cat scratching." That's a joke, doll. That's one of my favorite jokes too, because it's a runoff of the Saturday Night Live thing where Christopher Walken goes, "I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell." I don't know if you guys heard it. It's really funny. Look it up. Mike Haggard, he says, "Man, I remember when you were king of the ring. You put on a few pounds, but then again, so have I." And Spider-Man, he says, "The Daily Bugle will pay top dollar for shots of a Spider-Man beatdown." Smile for the camera, Spidey. Next up, we're going to be going over his assist quotes, which is basically, you know, his assist. So when he's calling for help, he says, "A little help," and when he finishes assisting his partner, he says, "Smile." And next up is his defeat quotes, which is basically what he says when he gets defeated. So when he's defeated by a light attack, he groans and says, "Damn it." And when he loses by a timeout, he says, "Damn, battery's dead." So next up is when he's replacing fallen allies. When he only has one ally remaining, he says, "Got time for an interview." And when he's the last one remaining, he says, "Not planning on dying yet." And last but not least, we're going to go over his taunts. He has two taunts. It's the same thing of him drinking like a jug of milk or something. and he says great and tastes great. So I finished a little bit early here, and I didn't expect me to. So let me give you my opinion on Frank, not only in this game, but as an overall character. So first, we're going to go over my opinion on Frank West being in this game. I actually enjoy the fact of Frank being in the game, and he was actually originally supposed to be in the vanilla version of Mall vs. Capcom 3. If you go back and look at some of the early pictures, they had a circle picture, and they show a character like, say, Dante was in the game. They would have a picture of Dante, and then around the circle they had silhouettes or images of characters who were also going to be in the game, giving little hints. And you saw a picture of Frank West, you know, his a silhouette basically taking a picture. It's pretty obvious it's Frank West. I don't know why he wasn't put in it. Maybe it was due to time constraint or something. But thank God he was put in the Ultimate version. I always liked Frank West ever since I played the first Dead Rising, and as I said before, I have done a Dead Rising playthrough, and I will try to remember to maybe put an annotation up there at the top linking you over to the first episode if you want to watch it, because I enjoyed playing it. It was a good game. It's an excellent game. It's one of my favorite, actually. And I love Frank West. He's arguably probably in the top 5, maybe even the top 3 of my favorite video game characters of all time. So I was really happy to see him in there, and he was the main reason why I got Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. I don't really like that game that much because it's on the Wii, and the Wii, it's not even that fun to play. I suck at that one, honestly. Not saying I'm good at this one, obviously. But he's the main reason why I got it, and I believe he's actually the only character who has an English voice actor. Maybe I'll do a playthrough of Tatsunoko vs. Capcom later on. But, you know, Frank West is always good. I enjoy the fact of him being in this game. I think it was clever. A part of me wished they would have put Chuck Green in it, and not because I like Chuck Green more. Actually, I don't even like Chuck Green. But around the time Dead Rising 2 came out, they sold it the vanilla version of Ultimate Mall vs. Capcom 3. And I thought it would have been a good business plan for them to put the main character from that series. But either or, I'm glad Frank was added to the series, because I truly love Frank. He's, like I said, one of my favorite video game characters, and I enjoy the fact of him being in this game. It's fun watching him beat up on people like Thor, for instance. And the reason why I actually chose this team here is mainly due to the fact that it was kind of like an all-normal person team. I could have added Mike Hager, but Mike Hager's like a former professional wrestler. Then again, I guess Chris Redfield has a little bit of superhuman tactics too. It probably would have made more sense to add Hager in, but it's like normal people, like Frank West, the man you wouldn't expect to do much, Phoenix Wright, another guy, and I had to choose one of the other normal humans. So it's between Hager or Redfield. For some reason, I chose Redfield because I can see him like leading a team, and he also has the zombie connection with Frank West. That's the taunt I was talking about. It's like a jug of water, it looks like.
Again? Why do you guys always go for me?
And like I said, I do plan on doing a playthrough of Dead Rising 2, and not the one with Chuck Green, actually. Maybe I'll do Chuck Green. Maybe I'll do the entire series and try to get a not off the record. I have off the record Case West or something, the one with him and Chuck Green in it. Because I have off the record. I haven't played it yet because I do want to play it like kind of blind. But I am gonna do a playthrough of that. Like I said, maybe I'll do Dead Rising 2, and maybe I'll actually revisit Dead Rising 1 and try to finish it the right way. Because I didn't do that. I actually don't want to spoil my playthrough for you, but I didn't get the correct ending. I don't know what I did wrong. I'll research it. Maybe I have to beat every boss, and if that's how it is, that sucks, because I never defeated every boss in that game. You know, whatever. I actually wasn't expecting, you know, to run out of stuff to talk about this fast. I guess I'll talk about the Dead Rising series. Dead Rising, very creative game. I remember when it first came out, I was very interested because not because of the whole zombie thing. I've never been a zombie guy, but what caught my attention was when they said everything can be used as a weapon. That to me, I was like, wow, really? And it speaks true. Like literally in Dead Rising, you ever played Dead Rising 1, 2, anything like that? Everything can be a weapon. Like you can make, I mean, well, in Dead Rising 2 you can actually make items, but like you can use a bench, a plant, trying to think of more things you can use in there, like kid toys, all that stuff. Some of them really don't do anything. I just want to say real quick, I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just watch me with Phoenix right here for a couple seconds. So, by the way, if you've been watching, both Chris Redfield and Frank West have been, you know, defeated. I'm not too good with Frank in this game. He's probably my best out of this entire team. I'm not too good with Phoenix Wright. He's actually probably one of my worst characters to play, even though I want to be good with him. And I'm not too good with Chris Redfield, but look at me as Phoenix Wright taking down Dr. Strange here.
Got a bad feeling.
And I think what really got me was the song. Like, that's what motivated the most. Phoenix Wright has such an amazing song in this game, and I think that's what motivated me. And as you see, I'm kind of thrown off now because my song's not playing. I have crappy-ass Storm's music playing. Also, speaking of the music, Frank West's theme is actually Adam the Clown. It's the Clown Boss, which I'm pretty sure almost everybody's seen in that game. Look at that, I fucked up. I could have eliminated Storm, and I just couldn't do it. But yeah, Frank West's theme in this game is Adam the Clown's theme, or boss theme from Dead Rising 1. So a nice little, you know, tribute to there. Yeah, and as you see, even though I took down Dr. Strange and almost took down Storm, I could not get it done as Phoenix Wright. But of course, we're gonna continue. Because that's just the way we roll.
vs.Capcom 3 is here. I'm gonna take you on a wild ride.
This project's been actually going on for quite a long time. Almost a year now, maybe even more. I also did take that little break because of the fact that I moved and all that. I'm hoping it will be done by at least next year because we have a lot more characters to still do.
Live and let die. Fight!
Alright, let's see how we do against Storm, Strange, and Miss X23 first. Also, I didn't mention this. Frank West has a little thing in here. Some characters have special things, such as, oh wow, I'm not starting off too good. Such as, like, Phoenix Wright, for instance. If you've seen, when I do play as him, he has a little investigating thing. And I have to look up items, which I'm not too good at. As you see, I have none right now, but I just pulled them out. And I'm not too good at that part. I don't really know what to do with Phoenix Wright. Maybe I'll have to practice with him, but I'm never good with that stuff. But we took down X23. But he has that special thing, and real quick, this is Chris's ultimate move. He kind of has like a nuke kind of thing, I want to say. But Frank West has a special kind of thing, just kind of like Phoenix Wright. How I said Phoenix Wright looks for evidence against his opponent. Frank West has a level up system, kind of like he has in Dead Rising games. He levels up throughout the time, and this time you use your camera to level up, and I believe like after you get a certain amount of hits or something off of them, he levels up. And I actually got an item there, by the way. Pretty sweet, right? But I leveled him up once early on, but I'm not too good. I always forget how to do the camera thing, and it's honestly my downfall. But let's chip down Storm, and I believe we're gonna move on to Galactus after this.
Before I lose another partner.
I'll be damned, right, Chris Redfield? I'll be damned. Also, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I usually try to match my characters up. Since Frank was my lead guy, I matched it all up to him, and that's my favorite Frank costume. And I actually like both the Redfield and the Chris costumes because I like the color gray, and it looks nice on all of them. So now we got Galactus here. No, they don't, Frank. Love how Chris Redfield, the zombie hunter himself, doesn't help you at all either. So we have Akuma as one of the heralds, and I think we'll also have Dr. Doom later. Either Dr. Doom or Domaru, one of the two. I think this actually could be a really good team if used right. I mean, I don't think Frank West is top tier, but I believe he's one of the better people in here. You see more of the pros playing him. I think Chris was maybe like one of the better players in the vanilla version, but I don't think he gets much attention now. And I'm pretty positive Phoenix Wright gets no attention whatsoever. But I feel like this team has potential, honestly, if you use them right. But that's just me. I mean, I'm no Marvel vs. Capcom specialty. I mean, maybe I'll email Maximilian and see what he thinks of that team. Because Maximilian knows what he's talking about. So right now we're taking on the Planet Devourer Galactus with the normal human team, but Chris Redfield is taking on many people the size of Galactus. Well, not maybe the size of Galactus, but he's taking on many, what are they called? bogeys. I don't know what they calls them. I never played a Resident Evil game. Frank, on the other hand, I don't believe has really taken on anything the size of Galactus. And maybe Phoenix Wright has covered cases the size of Galactus, but that may be about it. I'm actually surprised I survived this Frank because I think he does it another time. And I thought, yeah, right here, I thought for sure this was going to be the downfall of Frank West. But he surprised me and survived, and I X-Factored it up and took him down with a plunger. Yep, I took down the Devourer of Worlds with a plunger, nerds and geeks. Ask me anything.
Whoa, I'm gonna need you guys to scram.
I love how he runs away. Where are you gonna run to? I really like that Phoenix Wright costume, I'm just saying. Zombies? No, wait. Hero zombies? Yeah, in another dimension. I've heard you're quite familiar with zombies. You could say that. The people of that world have all been decimated. The zombies have begun to eat each other. And it gets worse. The zombies all retain their powers from when they were superheroes. Wow. Sucks for them. I'm afraid that once they're finished devouring their own world, they're gonna come over here. Okay, now that's just pretty crappy. I developed a machine that can cross between dimensions. In order to prevent them from coming over here, we should try to save their world. Frank, I could use your help on this. Do you think you can put your reporting and survival skills to use and give me a heads up on what's going on over there? Superpower zombies isn't really my thing, but if there's a story to be had, I'm on it. So it seems like Frank West and Mr. Fantastic are going to travel over to the Marvel Zombies universe, which is a comic series by Marvel, of course, and try to stop it. And it kind of puts that rumor that was put to rest in the year. Albert Wesker's ending, which I have shown already, shows him testing against heroes, which it was kind of rumored that maybe Wesker was the one that started the Marvel Zombies, but that kind of puts it to rest because it's in another dimension, and Frank West and good old Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four got to take care of it. But Nerds and Geeks, that is the end of this arcade playthrough. I do hope you have enjoyed my playthrough as Frank West, and I acknowledge I'm not too good at this game, but I would enjoy if you left me a like and a comment. You know, let me know how you feel about Frank West, Phoenix Wright, and or Chris Redfield. And as always, I have been OMG WTF LOL FTWBRB, and I will see you Nerds and Geeks next week when we continue on with our arcade playthroughs in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, moving on to the Marvel side. So until then, Nerds and Geeks, you guys have yourselves a great day.